ॐ पूर्णतः पूर्णमिदं पूर्णात् पूर्णमुदच्यते पूर्णस्य पूर्णमादाय पूर्णमेवावशिष्यते। ॐ शान्ति शान्ति शान्तिः। शङ्करं शङ्कराचार्यं केशवं बादरायणं सूत्रभाष्यकृतौ वन्दे भगवन्तौ पुनः पुनः। ईश्वरो गुरुरात्मेति मूर्तिभेदविभागिने व्योमवद्व्याप्तदेहाय दक्षिणामूर्तये नमः। ॐ शान्ति शान्ति शान्तिः। In the first session, we saw the path of prayers, which includes artha and kama purushartha to begin with, and then dharma purushartha, Vedic way of thinking and living. And thereafter we saw Shreyas, Moksha Purushartha. So when an individual realizes that everything that can be accomplished through Laukika karma or Vaidika karma and Vaidika upasana, all of that will not take me out of this samsara chakra. At that time, the person becomes a mumukshu. So his attempt is not much of dealing within paristhiti or just getting satisfied with some karma phala, because he understands that this is going to be very impermanent, and similar results I have attained so many times in so many lives. This is not new. And just as how earlier that result being impermanent has left me, now also it is the same problem. Therefore, to seek moksha is very important. Then we saw various defects in the enjoyment. Seeing these defects will make my viveka stronger, clearer, sharper, and my vairagya also more fruitful. People have vairagya, no doubt, but when there is clear viveka, that vairagya gets balam, strength. So we saw all of that. Now, today we will just quickly go over some terminologies. One is sadhana. Sadhana is in the form of whatever karmas I perform, good karmas, Vaidika, Laukika, which will result in fulfillment in life, calmness of mind, and ultimately punya. They all are considered as sadhana. And I mentioned yesterday, in the last session, 4 things from Brahadaranyaka Vakya. Tametam vedanuvacanena brahmanaha vividishanti yajnena danena tapasa anashakena. So there vedanuvachanam means any kind of parayanam, yajna, dana, and in tapa we saw shariram tapaha, kayikam, vachikam tapaha. Shariram means kayikam tapaha, vachikam at the level of speech, and manasam tapaha. All this will become sadhana in the beginning. And my goal is to attain that unadulterated, permanent happiness. Because Upanishad says, Tarati Shokam Atmavit. Knower of Atma goes beyond sorrow. So what we don't want is this sorrow, Shokam. No Shokaha, no Mohaha. Tatra ko Shokaha, tatra ko Mohaha, kashokaha. Ekatvam anupashyataha. So Upanishad says, if you see oneness, if you have Advaita Darshana, then there is no Shoka Moha. So this is my sadhya. This is my goal. Shoka Moha Nivritti through Atma Jnanam, Ekatva Darshanam, or Advaita Darshanam. Instead of Ekatva, Advaita is better. Advaita Darshanam. Even though in the mantra says Ekatvam Anupashyata, Ekatva Shabda is used, but you can use Advaita Shabda. This is my sadhya. And the one who has performed such sadhana, who is performing such sadhana, he is called sadhaka. So now you have sadhana performed by sadhaka to attain a particular sadhya. And when this sadhaka attains his sadhya, then he is called a Siddha Purusha. When a sadhaka attains this sadhya, then he is a Siddha Purusha. So far, he is a sadhaka performing sadhana. When he understands that all other sadhanas are there to complement Jnana sadhana. All other sadhanas are to complement only Jnana sadhana, and that Jnanam of Atma, Jnanam of Brahma, Jnanam of Brahma Atma Aikya is what is needed. Then he is now a Jignyasu or Pramata. Jignyasu means the one who has desire to know. Because Atmavit it is said, so I have to know Atma. In Chandogya 7th chapter, Atmavit Shabda is used. And in Chandogya 8th chapter, it is said, So Anveshtavyaha, So Vijignasitavyaha. What is that Atma? Esha Atma Apahata Papma, Vijaro Vimrutyuhu, Vishoko Vijigatso Apipasaha, Satyakamaha Satyasankalpaha. This is the nature of Atma. That which is beyond Jara Mrutyu, old age and death. beyond shoka means shoka moha, and beyond hunger and thirst. Satyakamaha Satyasankalpaha means Paramatma. Satyakama Satyasankalpa are for Saguna Brahma. All other attributes are for Nirguna Brahma. So that Nirguna Brahma should be known. So Anveshtavyaha, so Vijignasitavyaha. One should inquire into it. One should desire to know it. Why? Because the knower of that will rule over all. Will control all. Because he will be antaryami. He will control all from, not from outside, from within. So I should desire to know it. I should inquire into it. So this knowing, when it becomes important, then doing, then he is a Jignyasu. When he was a sadhaka in the earlier stage, when he did not know, knowledge is important. So his emphasis was in building that desire to know, vividisha, through yajna, dana, tapa and Veda Parayanadi. Now he will become a Jignasu. So he is the one who is going to be the Pramata. So he gets a new name basically. He is still a sadhaka. See, Pramata is not that now he doesn't do any sadhana. Why? Because he is Pramata or he is a Jignasu. He is still a sadhaka. But in his sadhana, now the emphasis is in knowing. Brahma is his Prameya, or Brahma Atma Aikya is the Prameya. And this Pramata is the qualified student, otherwise known as Adhikari. So Pramata, Sadhaka, Jignasu, Pramata is Adhikari. Sadhya, Prameya is Brahma Atma Aikya. And the Pramanam to know this Brahma Atma Aikya is Vedanta or Upanishad. So all those Shastras which have Brahma Atma Aikya as Prayojanam, such Shastras become important for this Pramata, for this Adhikari. Before he comes to Jnana Kanda, when he is doing karma and upasana, other scriptures are also important, and he studies them, looks into them carefully, no doubt. But now Upanishads and other Shastras which have Brahma Atma Aikya Prameya, they are more important, they are more relevant. So that is going to be the Pramanam. For this Pramata to know his Prameya. And the Prama is in the form of Aham Brahma Asmi. I am Brahma. I am that which I am seeking. So these are few terms that we should know. What is sadhana, what is sadhya, what is sadhaka, what is siddha, what is pramata, pramana, prameya and prama. As I said, pramata is adhikari, prameya is his vishaya, subject matter. Prayojanam is freedom from sorrows, shoka moha nivritti and paramananda prapti. This is his prayojanam, this is his purpose. Or samsara nivritti. In the beginning we may define as punarjanma nivritti. Ultimately we understand there is no janma at all, so there is no question of punarjanma. So adhikari, vishaya, prayojanam, and then there is sambandha. Sambandha is sambandha between pramata, prameya and pramana. What is otherwise known as bodhya bodhaka or pratipadya pratipadaka sambandha. Relationship between pratipadya and pratipadaka. Pratipadya vastu is the prameya. Pratipadaka is the shastra, pramanam. So that sambandha should be clear. And that's why these four things, they are called anubandha chatushtaya for Vedanta. Adhikari cha vishayah sambandhascha prayojanam shastrarambha phalam prahur anubandha chatushtayam. Bhagavan Bhashyakar says adhikari, vishaya, sambandha and prayojanam. This is the shastra arambha phalam, otherwise known as anubandha chatushtayam. So when these four are known, then shastra arambha will take place. Means my pravritti will take place in study of a particular thing. Otherwise I will not be interested. So when they are known, when anubandha is known, you understand indirectly mangalam is also done. And of course, by invoking God's grace, all the devatas' grace, and Guru Parampara's grace and blessings. So tomorrow is the greatest day for all us sadhakas. So with that you invoke their grace, and that is mangalam. Sambandhascha adhikari cha vishayascha prayojanam. Vinanubandham granthadau mangalam naiva shashyate. Without anubandha, there is no mangalam. Means mangalam is fruitful when anubandham you have already declared, defined. So we have defined anubandha. Now, two things that I mentioned in my last session that I will discuss, and they are sadhana chatushtaya and adhyasa. when we say pramata or adhikari, adhikari should have these fourfold qualifications. So generally we say fourfold qualifications. Actually qualifications are so many. It depends upon how you look at them. But main thing in Vedanta we define as viveka, vairagya, shamadhi shat sampatti and mumukshutvam. And you all know, you have heard this enough number of times. I would also consider the 13th chapter of Bhagavad Gita, where Jnana Sadhanani are given. What is known as Jnanam there actually is Jnana Sadhana. So, starting from chapter, starting from shloka number 7, Amanitvam, Adambhitvam, etc., they all are also very important. Because when I am actually in the field of sadhana, I will have to face all of these. I will have problem of manitvam at any stage, whether you are a 6-month-old sadhaka living in ashram only from 6 months, or you are a 25-year-old mature sadhaka. 25-year-old sadhaka means the one who is doing sadhana for 25 years in ashrams, means he is already around 50. Such person. Everybody will have to face something or the other challenges. Manitva will become issue. Dambhitvam will be an issue. Vachika hinsa. You say something to somebody, you may say, oh, I didn't mean it, this, that. But it will create lot of problems. And the worst problem is you lose your sadhana in the form of opportunity for Vedanta Adhyana. This is the worst. You say something and then you end up nowhere, you lose all your ability to do sadhana. That is where all these sadhanas are required. So we should not think that I have sadhan chatushtaya, I think some viveka is there, some vairagya is there, I know I am Brahman. At every step you will have to face this. Titiksha, and in particular if you decide to live in Gurukula setup, then only your titiksha will be tested more. If you are in your own place and you are doing sadhana, it is one thing. But if you live in Gurukula, then sadhana means titiksha will be required more. Because at every stage, whatever you need is not available. You will say, Swamiji, if we are at home or in our own setup, there also there is titiksha. Yes, I agree, there is no doubt. But everybody will have some to lesser or greater extent this sadhana that they will have to perform. So, amanitvam, adambhitvam, ahimsa, kshanti, arjavam, all of that. In other words, lot of daivi sampatti mentioned in the 16th chapter of Geeta we have to acquire. And the life of great mahatmas I think that is the main torch bearer, because we may see all these things, qualities, but you have to see them in someone. Then they are inspiration for us. If somebody gives example of Bhagavan Shankaracharya ji, immediately everybody will feel, what, he was extraordinary. He could change the flow of river. He could give shower of gold coins. I cannot do anything. So I cannot be sadhaka like him. But we need somebody who is more ideal for us, that we can actually see them, think of them, and follow them closely. I'll give you one example. See, Goswami Tulsidas ji. Goswami Tulsidas ji was very common man. He knew little bit. As almost Indians, they know little bit of Shastra, because in school they study Sanskrit. So Sanskrit is part of their day-to-day study. Plus, if you are from a religious family, you will see some puja, some upachara, some basic sadhanas going on. But when he got shock of his life, when his wife said something, that if you had half of this love also, what you have for me, love or infatuation, if you had half of that for Bhagavan Ramchandra ji, you would have attained Lord Rama. Means he had some bhakti for Rama to begin with. And he leaves and he goes to Banaras, Kashi. 12 years he studies there. And he studies so much Sanskrit, Vyakaran, this, that, Nyaya, and all other Shastras, and then Vedanta Shastra. And he wants to write Ramayana in Sanskrit. But of course, Bhagavan has different plans, and he ends up writing Ramayana in Avadhi Bhasha. But my point is that look at his life. How he studied so much and with so much intense devotion to Ramchandra ji. This is what we need. And they all would go through ups and downs in their life, or any other mahatmas that their life. We know in the modern days, Ramana Maharshi ji or our Swami Tapovan ji Maharaj, how much severe austerities they perform. And here in Kailash Ashram also, earlier Mahamandaleshwars and all, when they had so many limitations, but they lived here, studied here, and didn't worry much about what all things are available. I always have given examples of acharyas who have written all these tikas and all. Means this is all they did: study, teach, write, remember Bhagavan, that's all. So each one of them, their life is inspirational, and we should have that ideal. I told, right, I think I shared this. Madhusudan Saraswati ji did so many japas, so many Purascharanas. So such things do inspire us. And we say, I also should focus on such things. even though we get distracted, every now and then with something or the other, but these are the ones who will bring us back. So this is part of my sadhana. I should have viveka vairagya. I should practice whatever I try to learn to whatever extent, and main thing is my desire for knowledge should be there, because if I am walking on this path, that jnana sadhana is important. So this is all there in the sadhana chatushtaya in the form of definitions. Viveka is, according to Viveka Chudamani, Brahma Satyam Jagan Mithyeti. In this way, Evam Rupo Vinishchaya Soyam Nityanitya Vastu Viveka Pariganyate. So this Nishchaya, Brahma alone is Satyam, Nityam. Jagat is Anitya and Mithya. Mithya Shabda also I may not know what is this Mithya. Sadasadbhyam Anirvachaniyam or Pratipanno Padhau Traikaalika Nisheda Pratiyogitvam. All these things I may not even know. Jnana Nivartyatvam. What is this Mithya? But I know it is Anitya. Jagat is Anitya, that much I know. And Paramatma Vastu alone is Nitya. This is Viveka. Tad Vairagyam Jihasaya Darshana Shravanadibihi Dehadi Brahma Paryante Hyanitya Bhogavastuni. There is no desire for Shravana or Darshana. Darshana Shravanadibihi. It is very difficult for starting from Deha, my body or any other's body, all the way up to Brahmaloka. Brahmaloka Ananda also I do not want. Such mahatmas are rare actually, but you have to see them. This is Vairagya. Anitya Bhogavastuni. So it comes slowly, but we have to keep working on it. Then Shama. Virajya Vishaya Vrata Dosha Drishtya Muhur Muhu. Swalakshya Niyatavastha Manasa Shama Uchyate. I am assuming whatever shlokas I am chanting are correct, but if they are not, you look in Vivek Chudamani from 24, 25 onwards, all these should be there, I think, somewhere. So, dosha drishti in Vishaya, and therefore I control my mind. Means before I start seeing all beauties in the pleasure, I also should know there are problems there, and these problems means I will have to pay heavy price for all this enjoyment. And therefore a Viveki will say, no, then I don't want. This is how I will turn away from Vishayas. Because I know in one way or the other, at one time or the other, this Sukham is going to bite me. This is dosha drishtya, muhur muhuhu. Again you have to do dosha darshana. This is shama. Then dama is controlling the sense organs, indriyas, jnanendriya, karmendriya, all of them. And uparati is actually staying away from first all unnecessary karmas. If it is not required and if I am not expected to do, I need not do it. One. Second, if I am expected to do, why am I expected to do? And if we analyze that, really speaking, I am not expected because I cannot sit quietly, I am doing it, then you do it keeping in mind this position. That it's not that mandatory for me, but I do not know how to keep quiet. So, this uparati is gradually taking me to karma sannyas. Karma sannyasa is not changing clothes. Karma sannyas is a vritti. The way I think, the way I look at everything, this is sannyas. So what I don't need to do, where I don't need to go, I say okay, if without me things are working and without me going, I can save some time and opportunity. Even if I don't do anything, sometimes I need rest. If I can rest, that is good, because I am available for other studies better immediately after that. Sometimes I see people go from here to there to there for bhandaras. You waste so much time. Food takes less than 20 minutes. You go, eat something, come over. Otherwise, 3 hours, 4 hours are spent in just these things. Uparati is all this, that if I don't need to go, you don't go. That's all. Then titiksha. What is the shloka for titiksha? Sahanam sarvadukhanam apratikara purvakam Chinta vilap rahitam. Now you imagine Sahanam sarva dukhanam. Bhagavan Bhashyakar. So you see, when you start studying Vivek Chudamani in the beginning, you have no idea what is this Sahanam sarva dukhanam. So when you live this life for some time, then only you know what is this Sahanam sarva dukhanam. Apratikar purvakam, to it is very difficult. But such are mahatmas. But even if with minimum pratikara, as in that you just try to see if you can immediately address it and not dwell on it and go on doing that only, this is titiksha. Apratikara purvakam. Saharam sarva dukkhana. Apratikara purvakam. Chinta vilap rahitam. Not brooding over it, dwelling on them, and then doing vilapa, crying, this, wasting more time. Problem was there, you wasted some time. Then chinta, wasting time. Vilapanam, more wasting time. So no dwelling on it, no brooding over it, no crying about it, nothing. It's over. This is titiksha. Sa titiksha nigadyate. Then शास्त्रस्य गुरुवाक्यस्य सत्यबुद्ध्यावधारणा सा श्रद्धा कथिता सद्भिः. This Shraddha is in Veda Shastra. in Upanishads, I should have as much Shraddha as I have Shraddha in Pratyaksha Pramana in Vyavahara. This is actually Shraddha. What I have in Pratyaksha Pramana for Vyavahara, I have that same feeling, bhavana, for Shastra when it comes to Dharma and Brahma. That is called Shraddha. So, how we have blind faith in Pratyaksha Pramana? If Pratyaksha Pramana says something is black, means it is black. We don't doubt. Brahma is like that. In Shastra, when they say you need sadhan chatushta, means you need sadhan chatushta. In Shastra, when they say don't do this, means don't do this. There is nothing else after that. When you have this, you understand you are actually going to get the truth. Yaya vastu upalabhyate. When it is said don't do this, means you ask 200 questions why, and in 50 different ways you try to go this way, that way. Nothing is going to happen. You are just going to waste your time, energy, you will get exhausted. We have also learned from our experiences in life. Okay, so everybody has to learn. Now, whether you learn from others' experience or you learn from your own experience, we have to learn, that is for sure. This is Shraddha, and Samadhanam means the ability to keep my mind. Sarvada sthapanam buddhehe shuddhe brahmani sarvatha. Tat samadhanam ityuktam natu chittasya lalanam. So, at all times, in every way, I should be able to take my mind whenever needed to Atma Tattva. And this requires a lot of training. That no matter what is happening outside, I know how to withdraw and go to what they call in your inner chamber. Inner chamber means externally people may think, oh, he is right here, but you are not there. See, Laukikas, they think the person is here, but he is not there. And these people who have samadhanam, those who are called samahita, they also, it appears they are here in the midst of people, but they are not there. Laukikas, their mind is out in the world. Physically they are present there. Out in the world means either in the Vishayas or in Chinta, in the worries. They have no control over mind. Laukika. And Samahita people, their mind has already turned to Atma. They have this ability to do this anywhere, anytime. This is Samadhanam. This is a great quality. Because every time something or the other will come up in life. That situation I should use and start thinking I am Brahma. Means that flight I should be able to take. This is Samadhana. And Mumukshutvam means I have to be free. I don't want this again. This life of problems, I don't want. Shoka, moha, I do not want. When you see somebody else's sorrow, some child crying somewhere, 10 houses down, somewhere, or you are walking somewhere and a child, you say, if I don't realize in this life, this is what is going to happen to me again. You see the old age problems. You see, if I don't realize the truth, all this is going to bother me. So then I will work sincerely for this path. In Sarva Vedanta Siddhanta Sara Sangraha, Bhagavan Bhashyakar has defined 4 types of mumukshutva. 4 types. One is Tivra. Second is Madhyama. Third is Manda. And fourth is Atimanda. Imagine 4 types: Tivra, Madhyama, Manda and Atimanda. Tivra mumukshutvam is, in this life I want Jivan Mukti, nothing else, no other discussion. Madhyamiki is, not in this janma, in next couple of janmas I will get moksha. This is Madhyama mumukshutva. Why? Because I am not willing to give what they want. Price I am not willing to pay. Or even if I want to, I cannot do it. Why? Because of the choices that I have made earlier. Then Manda. Manda mumukshutva is in the next yuga I will get moksha. Not in, so in this yuga, Kali Yuga is going on, so say forget Kali Yuga. In Sat Yuga I am going to try. Or when is the next Treta coming? Because I always liked Treta. So in Treta Yuga only I want moksha. So now you wait. So what will you do? You hang around. What else? And then Atimanda mumukshutva. This kalpa to forget. Bhagavan Bhashyakar says 1 crore kalpa. Atimanda mumukshutva. When is the mukti phalam available? In 1 crore kalpa, or maybe not even after that. Such mumukshutvam is terrible. It is as good as not there. So with this sadhana chatushtaya, he becomes adhikari. So we saw sadhaka, otherwise known as Jignyasu, Pramata or Adhikari, who is part of the Anubandha Chatushtaya. And this Adhikari has Sadhana Chatushtaya. So, Viveka Vairagya, they are called Sadhana Chatushtaya. Viveka Vairagya, Samadhi, Sat Sampatti and Mumuksha. Now, little bit of superimposition or Adhyasa. When is Jnana Sadhana important and most important and relevant for me? Jnana Sadhana is not studying more and more texts only, not ratifying every line. That is not Jnana Sadhana. Jnana sadhana will be very much valid and appropriate when I see ajnanam as my enemy. If ajnanam is not my problem, jnanam is not my solution. Jnanam is solution when I have understood ajnanam is my problem. And the effect of ajnanam is this adhyasa. That I am taking some anatma as. So as I mentioned in the last session, those who are already pursuing this teaching and they are on this path for at least last few years, they know what is Sthula Sharira, Sukshma Sharira, Karan Sharira, what are Panchakoshas, and how Atma is different from them, how Atma is different from the three avasthas. So, for such people, focusing on this fact that adhyasa, taking anatma to be atma, is my main problem, and therefore remembering this is also a solution. Remembering this is jnanam. So adhyasa is problem, and knowing that adhyasa is a problem and adhyasa alone is a problem is a solution also. Adhyasa is a problem because I have mixed up Atma and Atma. So when I say I am dukhi, dharma of Sukshma Sharira I have taken for myself. I am in pain. Dharma of Sthula Sharira I am taking on myself. This is adhyasa. Ashana Pipasa means Pranamaya Kosha, Jara Mrityu means Annamaya Kosha, Shoka means Manomaya Kosha, Moha means Vijnanamaya Kosha. All this I am attributing in Atma. This is adhyasa, this is the problem. When I understand this, clear understanding of this, that Atma being asanga, I cannot get affected. I as Atma cannot get affected by these problems. This itself is the solution. And in this Mandukya Upanishad, this solution is given a special name. That name is called Asparsha Yoga. What is it called? Asparsha Yoga. You start with Karma Yoga, Upasana Yoga, Bhakti Yoga, Ashtanga Yoga, whatever yoga you want to do. You realize this Asparsha Yoga, that there is no sparsha of anatma to atma. Asparsha yogo vai nama durdarshaha sarva yogibihi yogino bibhyati hyasmat hyabhaye bhayadarshinaha. For all practitioners, for all sadhakas, Asparsha Yoga is not easy. Durdarshaha, Sarva Yogibihi. And in particular, when I try to solve the problems at the level of mind alone, then Asparsha Yoga will be difficult for me. Because Vedanta's solution is Atma is really not touched by the problems. So this is actually the solution. But to come to this solution, I have to prepare myself enough. And then equally high level solution is in the form of Amani Bhava, where I can see mind itself losing its reality. Mind becoming mithya, or knowing that mind is mithya, is the solution. See, adhyasa is the problem. So first I have to understand this properly, thoroughly, that my enemy is in the form of ignorance. Then knowledge is my solution. What is this knowledge as solution? Twofold. Atma is untouched by problems, one, and problem is mithya. But Atma is untouched means Asparsha yoga, and problem is mithya means the problem giving mind, problem reporting mind, not external problem. External problem is mithya. You may say 2000 times, nothing is going to happen, because you are married to your own mind. That mind is no mind. So when you take out the fangs of this mind, manomithyatva is Amani Bhava. These two, this is how this solution is prescribed. And that alone should lead me further to Ajatvada, non-creation. When I am able to see Atma untouched by everything, and when I am able to see mind as mithya, only then I am ready to appreciate na kaschit jayate jiva, non-creation. Until then, I am very much in the world. I am karta, bhokta, sukhi, dukhi. I have mind and I have to deal with mind, people, problems, all of those things. So gradually we have to work on this. Okay. Tomorrow the session will be at 2:30 only. Om Purnamadaha Purnamidam Purnat Purnamudachyate Purnasya Purnamadaya Purnamevavashishyate. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Shankaram Shankaracharyam Keshavam Badarayanam Sutra Bhashya Kritau Vande Bhagavantau Punaha Punaha Ishvaro Gururatmeti Murti Bheda Vibhagine Vyomavad Vyapta Dehaya Dakshinamurtaye Namaha. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Om.